Come with me as I design my next food-themed tapestry square for my sweater. This is the general plan, and today we're actually not gonna do a food at all. This one is clearly going to be a little coffee mug. Now the design of this is pretty simple, but I do have some plans for some stuff I'm gonna add later on, so you're gonna have to stick to the end to see what I do with it. Now, if you're wondering why I'm actually doing a drink in a food-themed sweater, I figure, you know what, coffee is an essential part of my food groups, okay? And I actually thought I would be kind of cute to break up some of the food items with just a few drinks, so there are a few more drink items coming down the pike later on. Anyway, so this was actually pretty simple to crochet, but I knew the embroidery that you're about to see in just a second was going to be a little bit more tedious to do. And the first thing I knew I really wanted to do was add these little seam lines that I'm doing right now to the top of the mug. I had left the space for that. I knew I wanted to do that. The actual things that I add to the mug, I was a little bit not sure of yet. I was adding this first and kind of just contemplating what I wanted to do with the design of the mug because I didn't want to keep it plain, or at least I was pretty sure I didn't want to keep it plain. So I'm just adding lines and then making them a little bit curvy to look like it's steam. And then I broke out the iPad. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had tried a few different things already, filmed them, deleted them, hated them, thought they were too chunky and ugly, and that's why the iPad was out, because I wanted to make a design that I liked before I actually started doing things again to it. Because honestly, by the time I got to this point where I'm just doing these nice little lazy daisy chain stitches, I had already tried a bunch of different things, ripped them out, and had spent way too much time on it. What's really funny about all that, though, is that this was the original plan, just with the worsted weight yarn that I was using for the rest of the project. But when I went to use it, it was just a little bit too chunky, and the flowers didn't look like flowers. They just looked like little blobs. So after pulling out the iPad, redrawing everything, and trying to come up with something else, I ended up with this, but just with small yarn. And that is pretty much it. That is my 7 square overall and second pink one done and in the books.